right, I'm back, and so we've got these two equations. This one was the how fast equation, and then this one was the how far equation. And what's really cool about this is we could take this equation here, take that equation, and then solve it for the letter t, okay? Then take that equation and substitute it for this t here, and substitute it for this t here, do a whole heck of a lot of algebra, and you will eventually end up with this formula here. So this is going to be called the hybrid equation because it's a combination of these two equations put together. So it's going to, now notice it still has V final and it still has V initial, like these other equations here. But notice that this one it has this part here, 2a and then r. So r is going to be the distance that it moves. A is going to be the acceleration that it has. And then notice that this is squared. So it's your final velocity squared is got to be equal to your initial velocity squared. And then it depends on your acceleration and the r. So do you see it doesn't have the letter t in it? So sometimes this is a very useful equation when you're not told what the time is in the word problem. So we're doing the same thing over again here. Initial position is going to be 0. The final velocity is going to be 3. The acceleration is going to be 2. Okay, now you're going to calculate the distance that he travels using the simulation. Then you're going to find the final velocity using this formula. Okay, so you've got the distance that he travels. You can read that off the ruler on the simulation. You're going to know the initial velocity. You know what the acceleration is, and you're going to know the distance he travels. So then you put it all into this formula and you solve it for the letter V final. Now remember, you got to take a square root. So when you do this, then you have to take the square root of it to get the V by itself. And then you're going to compare that number that you get from this formula to the final velocity that you calculated from part 2. And hopefully those two numbers will be the same. Now they're going to be off by a little bit, but that's a measurement thing, and so it's a significant figure thing. But the two numbers, they ought to be fairly equal to each other when you do it. Okay, so that's part 4, and so now we're ready for part 5, which I'll talk to you about in just a moment.